Pubcast. It's a Blossoms Pubcast. It's a Blossoms Pubcast. It's a Blossoms Pubcast.
Live from the Blossoms Pub.
Hi everyone.
Hi.
Hello.
How are you?
Guten Morgen. That right?
Guten Morgen, yeah.
Buongiorno.
Early morning. Thank
well
you.
done. How are we?
Fresh back from the Isle of My Man.
Yes. I'm not so fresh.
Yeah,
though.
not so
I'm not.
fresh.
I was going to say I'm not fresh at
Yeah,
all.
I'm not
Creme
so
fresh.
Didn't sleep well.
No.
Great.
Delayed.
Mash. Is it? Would you recommend?
What's great with
Got it.
mash?
Creme
Very,
fresh.
very,
Sorry.
very good.
Mine
Yeah.
said creme fresh.
It is.
I've just clocked my bugle from the side. It's getting bigger, isn't it?
They don't stop, mate.
Nose and your ears don't stop, do they?
Fuck you now.
You'll just be a
Jesus.
walking nose.
Then I'll have no hair, so my ears will look even bigger. BFG.
Big week.
Big week.
Yeah, it's
Big
been,
week.
Been a big week.
That's been a big week.
Gary, we've announced it. It feels nice to actually not be like. I feel like the past few episodes might have been like skirting round stuff. Like, can we say this? Can we not say that?
Yeah.
Where now it's like complete relaxation. Sation.
Condensation.
But yeah, proper relax now. We can sort of.
12 speak for your fucking self.
No, but you know, I'm saying we've got low, but I mean it's like more like. Do you know
Yeah,
what I mean?
so it's announced into the world.
Do you know what I mean?
innit?
We don't have to do that thing like, you know, when you're in interviews and stuff and say like not say anything and stuff like that. So yeah, it's good.
So yeah, we've had a pretty busy week, to be fair. We've done a gig, we've first one in a bit, we've announced an album, we've announced all the fun things with that, we've released a song. Fucking quite a lot to talk about. Do you know what I mean?
There
What
is.
should we start with? Our album is called Gary. You can pre-order it now. You can listen to the song now.
You can watch the video.
You can watch the video.
Yeah.
Which should we start with why we called the album Gary?
Why not? Yeah, if you want.
Why not?
Yeah. Go on then, Tom.
Well, I wrote the song Gary
Mm-hmm.
after hearing a fiberglass gorilla got stolen from a garden centre in Carluke in Scotland last year. I think it was like March or April. I think it was March last year, 2023. I heard it in the car, went home, started reading about it. Wrote the song as a kind of a joke, but turned out kind of fun. It reminded me of the way I wrote Girlfriend, do you know what I mean? It was like writing about something else.
Playful.
Yeah, playful. And I've enjoyed writing with the fun element involved and, you know, putting lyrics about the fiberglass gorilla having potential brothers and stuff kind of tickled me. So, yeah, it was a fun tune. It's catchy. We did it in here, didn't we? And it felt great. And it was kind of one of our favourites for a while. And obviously when you make an album, you write and demo. How many did you do? Like 30?
30 plus, yeah.
45. 45.
Tune. Yeah, and then once you've collected them songs together, you're always, well, for me personally, I've always got one eye on what the album's going to be called. You know, going back to Cool Like You.
It's a tricky one, isn't
The
it?
first one was just self-titled. That was kind of always going to be the obvious one for that. We always wanted it to be self-titled, didn't we?
Yeah.
Cool
100%.
Like You, obviously, was a title track again. That was named after the song. And again, at the time, that just felt like it fitted right and rolled off the tongue. Foolish Loving Spaces was a lyric.
In like Gravity, wasn't it?
It was, in fact, it was going to be the title of Like Gravity, but I swapped it to be the album title because I thought it was a better album title, and Like Gravity then became the name of the song because I didn't want it to just be title tracks, but then Ribbon Around the Bond became title track, and that again,
That's
I
an
feel like they
interest-
jump out to the
So
album
that's an
titles.
interesting thought now. Because Foolish Living Space is the only one that isn't a title track, but every other album bar
The
the first
other
one is,
three.
do you wish that it was a title
No.
track now?
No,
I mean,
I'm not
it's
bothered
something
about
I've not thought of before. I've just thought of now we've said it. do you know
What,
what I mean?
yeah, I
Like-
should have called that song Foolish Loving Space. No, I
Yeah.
like the fact it's not.
Yeah, I do. I mean, I don't.
I just think it's hard to. That just presented itself to be not title tracked.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I figured it out ahead of the time. Whereas once I'd wrote Gary, you couldn't really call Gary the song something else. Do you know
Gary
what I mean?
doesn't sound like a word anymore.
It's like
And then-
Blossoms and all the rest of them. It just doesn't
calling
sound
the
like
album
words.
that, we played around with some other ideas, didn't we? And
We had the pens out.
we had
had
the
like
pens, we had a
Yeah.
we
the
had a
sheets up, the
sheet up on the
thinking
wall, and we
sheets,
had like
do you know what I
potential
mean?
album titles.
Everything was a bit serious, wasn't it?
Yeah, it felt a bit serious, and no, not going too deep. But I struggled a bit last year in terms of just having a clear head of what the album should be, and my brain was busy elsewhere,
life.
Yeah.
and it was
Hadda.
once the time came to then give the album some TLC and look at what the options we had, I was just kept being drawn back to Gary in terms of it was a bit of a fuck you to all the rest of the nature of how the music industry can be sometimes. You know what I mean?
No, 100%. Yeah,
Seriousness.
Yeah, the
everyone's
seriousness.
taking it seriously. Like, oh, this is the theme and this is the thing, and I suppose we're sort of going.
Quite punk, innit? Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? It is actually quite.
Wow.
It's
Yeah.
it's
Do you know
kind
what
of
I mean?
a punk
That is so
attitude
punk
to it.
rock.
Yeah, yeah.
No, but I know what you mean.
Yeah, no,
That is
actually
the
is,
correct
yeah.
way of
Yeah, well,
explaining it.
Anarchy.
The fucking lightest version of, you
Yeah.
know what I mean?
It felt like our version of just being like, fuck it, let's do it. And I like the fact it's a talking point for one. People go, why?
Yeah.
It's 4 letters. No one's going to miss here and go, what? You know what I mean? If you go for something too
Yeah.
clever
Obscure.
and too obscure, it's,
Larry.
what is that? But yeah, so that's it. Kind of the reasoning was, it just kept being drawn back to it. It's hard to say. And then even when we went to Kempston Street to record, someone had engraved into the concrete Gary.
It's following us now, isn't it?
Yeah. There was a few signs, and then when I drop Katie off at work every day, there's a shop, where them council
Yeah, Gary.
houses are. There's a
Um,
store called Gary's,
yeah.
and I've been
Oh,
dropping her
yeah.
off dropping her
on
off
Hillgate.
every day in Hillgate, like going towards
Near the
Stockport.
Crown.
Gary's.
And I just kept going past that, and I was like, I think
It's nice.
subliminally it's gone in. Do you know what I mean?
It's
So that's
there,
why
yeah.
it's called it. And I think we all just
I buzz off
we
it.
tried the others, and it just didn't seem right. Do you know what I mean?
No, I love it.
I fucking buzz off it. I'm
And then
glad
obviously
that it's in the world.
You had the idea as well of the album cover.
Yep.
That
I
was
did it. That was
you was like, I want to do it with our bodies.
well. I was thinking.
Contortion.
And I can't remember where. I think I actually just got the idea. I didn't actually rip this off from anything. I think I just thought, these 4 letters in it, these 5 of us.
Well, I vaguely remember you saying you wanted it to be like sort of opposite to the album title. You wanted the album cover to be quite arty.
Yeah,
and quite
kind of
fashiony.
fashion.
But then,
Contrapuntal.
Yeah,
I like it.
I vaguely remember me and you looking at you getting up on Pinterest, and someone was in a letter shape, and you was like, "That's a cool idea."
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Alphabet body shapes.
Yeah, and
It's a
I vaguely
subliminal
remember being with
nod
you.
to help, isn't it?
Yeah, and as well, once I started looking at it, I was like, oh, it's a bit like Help,
hmm
the Beatles album cover. And yeah, I think the album cover, I wanted it. We had like the songs I Like You Look, didn't we? Night. Don't know, the album feels a bit kind of night out in places, doesn't it? If you know what I
Yeah.
mean.
Yeah.
So we kind of wanted
Party vibes.
the reflection of like fashiony, like a fashion shoot was kind of the
The premise.
premise, and then making Gary with our bodies just felt original, even though there's a nod to Help there by the Beatles. It felt really
What was the
original.
direct inspiration? Was it just? And then I think the what kind of tied the cover together is the clothes that we're wearing too, which were made by local
Ditch Massive.
Stitch Massive dye. Because I think because they're so like loose but straight, it kind of if we were just wearing like jeans or
It
like a
wouldn't
suit,
work,
it
would
wouldn't
it?
work. But the what are they? Are they like
Quite gardening, aren't
they're
they?
like fishing pants, aren't they? From
Yeah,
like
tight-
Vietnamese.
Vietnamese. I thought they tied.
So they're like
Vietnamese
the
fishing pants, yeah.
circumference of the pants is enormous, and then you tie them around your body to fit.
Yeah, and leaves like
Your
a
shape.
ruffle at the top and stuff.
Yeah,
And she's really sound, isn't she, Di?
Yeah.
Like, she worked with Simply Red in the 80s. Even going before that, there was a jean company in Stockport, wasn't there,
Crazy
called
Face.
Crazy Face Factory.
Yeah.
And
Have
she
you-
made the jeans for them. So she's been in and around the music industry for a
Knows her
while.
stuff.
Yeah.
And I just ended up meeting her on the Underbank. She actually makes the clothes they wear in Yellowhammer,
Mm.
the aprons and stuff that the girls wear in Yellowhammer.
Was it John? Did John introduce
And
you?
John at Never Make Waste, I was in there just looking. That's a vintage shop on Underbank as well. I'd been telling him because I kind of wanted to wear a bit different style. I'd been looking on Pinterest myself to kind of evolve my own wardrobe, and kind of was into a bit more of a baggier fit, I would say. And he went, "Oh, I should put you in touch with Di. she made clothes for Simply Red in the 80s and all this, I think she'd be right up your street.
Does she dye clothes?
Does dye clothes?
She does
'cause
actually,
that's-
yeah.
Probably.
Dye does
dye
dye.
clothes.
That's why
She only
She's
work-
quite purist. She only works with like
yeah.
fabric she likes and what's in. She doesn't
It's pure
mass
fabric.
produce. She doesn't, she does a million things at once. Like she doesn't have one
Cool.
job now.
I've
She's
been meaning
like,
to ask as well. Sorry, this is still on the same topic, but did she make me some granola?
yeah, it's in my cupboard. I keep forgetting to give it to you.
Yeah.
I've got
Granola?
it in a thing. It says
Just
Charlie on it.
reminded me.
Sorry.
No, it's fine.
Do you know what?
You'll have
But
my
anyone
name on
who's
it next.
interested in that sort of style or fashion, you can buy some of the stuff from
Stitch Massive.
Never Make
And
Waste.
Never Make Waste, yeah.
I think that's
She's
Never
ace.
Make Waste is probably the best place to buy it from because I know she makes stock for them.
They've
Yeah.
just moved as well.
Yeah, they have, haven't they? Up
Just down the
Underbank.
road, yeah, on Underbank.
But it's quite like, I suppose it's nice when you get talking like this. It's like it's a local affair, isn't it? We
Yeah.
pulled in
Yeah.
and then we shot the album cover in here, in our
Yeah, in our
rehearsal
rehearsal
space,
room.
with
DIY
my
drapes.
brother, Ewan, who shot Foolish Loving Spaces, and he's our band
We
photographer.
sorted the drapes out, we screwed them up, we put them all up. Do you know what I mean? We did it all, really, didn't we? We bought the fabric from
Shuffle Bottoms in Macclesfield.
That was massive shout out to
We'll
them. they
put a
sorted
full
that out.
making of this online. I think people would probably find it quite
Definitely,
interesting.
it
but
was,
Yeah.
it was good.
we toyed with other ideas, though, didn't we? Like, not other ideas, but we were going to go and hire a studio
Yeah.
and, do it that way.
Paint the backdrop.
Paint the backdrop. Once we looked at what we could achieve in the room, we did a test.
Yeah.
The test was for the single cover, What Can I Say, and it turned out well.
Just got the
So we
lights
thought,
in and
right,
stuff.
let's do Gary there. The hardest bit was actually staying in the shapes for some of us, wasn't it? Me,
Yeah, I think
Miles, yours was quite easy,
It's
wasn't
hard.
mine was fairly easy.
Really hard.
it? Me on the floor was hard.
We
Yeah.
were contorted, weren't we, and
Yeah.
twisted and
And actually, shout out to Di again because she kind of helped to direct that.
uh,
And
Yeah,
stuff,
Di.
because-
we were
Wrecked.
different shape. I was
Hey.
a direct, nice. I was initially the Y.
yeah,
You were the R.
I was the R, but I was too tall, so it threw the
Yeah, through the shape.
I've always been the
arch of the
curve
G.
of the G.
and then
Joe-
she changed the shape of the G, didn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah, have
she
the
said
cross
just
on
go
it.
like that instead of what were you doing, something like that.
yeah.
Remember?
Do you know what though? When you look back now, that it's a better. We should flash up the old photos when we did like the test one, because initially we were gonna have people in it. Remember?
Yeah.
And we did AI. We filmed
AI,
it with AI.
the
It's
AI
like
was
mad, innit? It's
insane,
like-
innit?
I'm so glad it's just us clean.
Yeah, I am. Yeah, with the good, and I'm happy with the colour of the drapes and stuff like that.
I think it looks really,
Yeah, it's great.
really
Yeah.
original and striking. I'm
Should we
really
talk
pleased with it.
Should we talk about the track listing now? Because we've not gone through it.
Yeah. What
So-
do you want to talk about?
The first one, the first tune on the album is my favourite on the album. I say it's my favourite, but I don't actually know if it is. I think I've got a few favourites, to be honest. This is my favourite album off the cuff, by the way.
What's the first song then?
The first song's Big Star.
Okay.
I think it's a great opener.
It's a great.
Yeah,
yes.
we didn't know what we should open the album, but I think with Skelly you suggested, why don't you open with that one?
Mm.
I had toyed
Me
with
and
it.
Jay, you
I
know.
did think at home, I was like, could Big Star open it? But then I thought, in the past you normally open with like one of your big singles you've had off the album,
Mm.
whereas obviously we're opening with, say, more of like an album track at
Yeah.
first. But it's kind of it's a strong song.
And
Yeah.
it's another storytelling song, isn't it?
Yeah,
But at this time from personal experience rather than just something you've read.
yeah.
Mm.
I was in the Chateau Marmont in LA.
Which
After
is
we played
similar
it-
to the
It's
Travelodge for anyone at home.
It's class, that, isn't it?
No, we played Darker Waves Festival in LA, didn't we? And did a headline show of our own in November. Was it November? Was it
Yeah,
October?
the Echoplex.
Was it October or November?
November.
November 23. And on the last day, you went to the Chateau Marmont just for a drink, didn't you? Like before you fly home.
Yeah.
We did.
And then you text, because I was staying with Katie going on a bit of our road trip thing that we'd been planning for years. And we drove to like Las Vegas and the Grand Canyon and shit. So I was on my road trip thing I was on a road trip with Katie to Vegas and Grand Canyon like we've been saying we'd do for a while. And then we were flying home from LA, so I had a couple of nights to stay somewhere before I flew home. And I hadn't booked anywhere. We were kind of looking, and yous were like, you've got to go and stay at the Chateau Marmont. We went in for a drink. There's just something in the walls there. Just do it. So we then managed to find like a last minute booking thing. They had like a room left, so we went and stayed there. And there is something in the walls there. A lot of crazy shit's happened there over the years, like,
It's iconic,
Hollywood
innit?
and musicians, actors. Google it, you can read a lot about it. And when I was in there, I kind of had my eye on, I could turn something into a song in here. I don't know what. I was taking stuff down, even just being in the rooms, people knock on in the night, like, are you coming to party and shit? It's just weird. It's like you're in a film, do you know what I mean? Like it does feel like that.
Someone knocked on your room
Yeah,
asking
yeah.
you
We
to
were
come to
up.
party.
We were up, had tunes on in our room, like drinking still. So we'd like gone to like the bar and like gone up to our room, but like had a drink and was just having a few more before we
Vibing.
went to bed. But then someone knocked on, this random like older guy in like his 60s, like, "Are you guys partying?" And we were like, "No, mate, we're all right." And it was like trance music coming from the room opposite all day, every day. Like they were
Really?
recording. It was weird. I don't know if they were just on like
Cleaners.
a mad one. Yeah. So then on the last day, I was sat in the Chateau lobby, which is what Father John Misty is inspired his song Chateau Lobby.
Fucking hell.
And there's a piano in there, and he talks about playing the piano in the Chateau lobby. Now, anyway, I wasn't playing the piano. I was just sat waiting, and we were kind of tired and a bit like, you know, when you're ready to go home.
Yeah.
Mm.
And this guy walked in and sat on one of the tables, and I was like, he just looks like he is somebody. Do you know what I mean?
Had
Like,
the aura.
he had the aura of you look like you're somebody, and it would look like a kind of proper meeting. And he had this book with him that said Raygun on it, and I could overhear bits of the conversation, them talking about stuff. And then I heard him say his name was Marvin.
The lyrics are sort of literally word for word what happened, aren't they?
Yeah. So then I googled him, and then so I'm googling this guy whilst he's sat there, and I realise he's called Marvin Scott Jarrett, and he's got a magazine. What was it? Was it
ID, was it?
I think he had ID in the 90s, and then turned it into Raygun. Now he's got Marvin. Anyway, he's done. Everyone's been on the cover of it throughout the years and stuff. And then I was thinking, should I go over and introduce myself and be like, I'm in a band?
I love it because the lyrics are just like on the nose. It's like it's quite girlfriendy in the sense of.
Do you know what it was?
It's not like it, to me. It doesn't open anything to interpretation. It's like you're reading a story. And do you know what I mean? Like that's what I love about.
I will give a nod to CMAT in terms of I have done this in the past. You know, writing about relationships on the nose and girlfriends on the nose. You know, it's not from my own experience. So I have
Gary's on the
Gary,
nose.
yeah, and I have done that. But I think working with her kind of opened my eyes to you can literally do it about anything.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And it's good to have a focus on what the song is about and just see it through.
Yeah.
So then
Commit to
obviously
it.
when I was sat there, I was like, I just typing stuff into my phone like a story. So I put in like, if I was to bet, I would guess you was someone or whatever the lyric is.
Yeah.
And then I thought about going over and introducing myself, and then just bottled it
Mm-hmm.
because I was in like my travelling home gear, and it wasn't like, if it was like in night out
You
gear,
want to be in
I probably
character.
would have gone
It's
over.
class. Like, it gives you that little bit more
Yeah.
confidence.
So I was
I've just looked at my messages. Then that's what I was doing. And me and you were texting each other, Tom, on the 19th of November. And I text you just like how I was driving going, because obviously that's when you hired a car.
yeah.
And you was like, Katie's got insurance, she's driving now, and blah blah blah. And then I've gone on to say like, you go in San Diego, and I put we went to that Chateau Marmont. It was fucking amazing in there. You should definitely try and get a few nights, you know. And I think later on, then in the messages, you say like, oh, you were talking about not really enjoying some place, but you're like, you just sent me a photo of Chateau Marmont going, it's fucking boss.
Yeah, it is. But yeah, I mean, you can go. You don't want to fucking run through of every tune like in that much detail,
No.
do you? Like, well, that one is.
Every episode.
I like from now on, we'll do a run through of a song, but you haven't heard it, so you have to think about it.
There you go. So we'll do a track.
So
Yeah,
we'll
yeah.
do
Week by
we'll-
week,
we'll
because
do-
otherwise we'd be here
So
all
that was-
fucking
Oh,
day
can we make
doing
a jingle?
I like how it's
Wait.
conscious
The jingle
reference
will
to
just
the
be the
band
song.
as well. Big Star.
It's not fucking out.
Yeah, yeah.
just use a
Without-
fucking snippet of
Because
this
I have referenced Big Star in Love Talk, haven't I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big Star.
Some
in the
Big
Big
Star.
Play some Big Star.
Yeah, in the car we
Isn't
play
it
some
weird?
Big Star, but this.
I wonder if people will listen to that in future. Like, say if you just get into the band this album, I wonder if you'll look back at that song, say you went back and thought it was. Do you know what I mean? It's weird, isn't it?
Do you want me
Think
to
of it linked.
find, because there's shit that didn't make the cut from
Oh, what from the notes?
the notes.
Yeah, I'd love to.
Um,
So next week if you're doing this, because I mean, what can I say in Gary already out? We sort of spoke about them before, so I suppose the next one is I Like Your Look. So next week we'll speak about I Like Your Look.
yeah, so this is. So it says, you fell asleep in the hotel lobby last night's margaritas last laugh. That didn't make the cut. It's quite a good line, to be fair. I can overhear two
Fucking
men.
hell, you're giving some fucking people some lyrics here.
I can overhear two men talking. That made it. One said he's the author of Raygun, but I
wrote
wrote
a
a
magazine called.
the Bible of Music and Style. That's what the book says on it. So
That's
I
cool.
put that in there.
Oh shit, do you know what's mad? This isn't out yet. So people, it's good they're hearing the lyrics before the
His
fucking
name
tune.
is Marvin. This looks like some big meeting. maybe he can make me a big star. That's what I've put. So
Did you have the title first, or
no? But I wrote
Yeah, I was
maybe he
gonna
can make
say-
me a big star. So when I've wrote that, I've known it's going to
yeah,
be
that's
called
jumped
Big
out
Star.
at you again.
He said he lives in Laurel Canyon. I've never been, but it sounds exciting. Look, he's brought his own book with him. I think I should have worn a better outfit.
That's all in there, isn't
Then I could have made friends with Marvin. Just remembered I'm too awkward. That's why I'll never be a big star. That didn't make the cut.
No.
These walls have some history. I'm in room 53. Jim Morrison in the wardrobe. Marilyn
made it.
Monroe. That made it.
That's so Jim Morrison in the wardrobe and is referencing a photo shoot. Is that right?
Yeah, Jim Morrison did a photo shoot in the Chateau Marmont where he sat in the wardrobe with I think there's a telly in front of him.
Yeah.
Somewhere. Marilyn Monroe did photo shoots in there.
Do people still do stuff there? So it just become like a museum of like culture.
Yeah, well,
Do you know
yeah,
what I
Tom's
mean?
out of tune there.
Yeah, when I was
Do you know what I mean?
just quickly
Like,
when I
people
was
still stay there. I mean,
I was walking past it because we tried to go for a drink one night, and like I'd say half an hour before, Charlotte had said, who would you? I might have mentioned this, but like who would you be starstruck by right now? And the first thing I said was Jack Black. Couldn't get
Yourself?
in the couldn't get in the Chateau Marmont, so we just walked past it, and then you hear someone go, "Right, and welcome to the stage, Jack Black." He's like, "All right, everybody," and it was a Tony Hawk. It was a private party for Tony Hawk going on at the Chateau Marmont.
That is
I
fucked.
was just stood there going like, 20 minutes ago I just said that.
Do you know who was in there when I was in there? Barry Keogh.
Oh
Yeah, I saw him over the road at the Sunset Tower.
He was in there when I was in
do
there.
you reckon you get people who stay there just to like nose people up who are
Yeah.
around there?
Oh,
There was plenty.
Like, did it
when
used to be like that though?
Yeah, me and Katie were like having dinner there like most nights because the food was boss as well. To be fair, and we'd sit in like they have like an outdoor bit,
Yeah, it's like
and it's so good for
trees and
people
stuff.
watching. So we'd just sit in the corner, couple of margaritas, and we'd just be like watching everyone and talking, having a laugh. But then people would come over to you and kind of see what they not sponge off you, but be like, "Are you somebody?" Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they'd be like sussing it out, being like, "What do you do?"
Like,
and
put
stuff.
me off. If I was like Brad Pitt, I wouldn't want to stay
mad,
there.
you know, it's good. Sorry.
I've been ergonomic. Like,
No,
if
but
I
it's
was
an
like Brad Pitt or something, I wouldn't want to stay there because I'd be like, people are just going to.
No, but it's not. There's a thing. There's
That's
like
why
an
you're fucking
unwritten.
not, Brad Pitt.
There's an unwritten
You
thing.
just wait.
The odd
the
person
etiquette,
did
innit?
that. No, they didn't do. They do it in a way where it's not like that though.
Yeah.
They just there's an unwritten thing apparently that they're not allowed to like go up to people. And say if Brad Pitt wasn't there, no one would go up to him.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Do you remember when we went in there
Yeah.
and they sort of suss you out as you're walking in, don't they?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like it's one of them places like you're made to feel uncomfortable unless you think you belong there. Does that make sense?
It's
There's
a mad
few
vibe.
places
It wouldn't
like
be for everybody.
No,
Like, it's a bit of a.
100%, yeah.
I went on more of like I'm gonna soak up
You stayed
shit
there
for inspiration.
this is what,
in
it's
here.
like. It's like a museum of culture. Like it's interesting
love
to go
shit
in
like
there, but I'm like, would it attract a bit of not
Noise.
riff-raff?
Jarvis Cocker made a whole album in there.
So this is what I'm
in the
saying.
mall. It's called like
it is-
Room Summer, and it's got a piano in the room.
And if you're into like fucking spaces being like creative and shit,
Yeah.
you
100%.
soak it up, innit? Do you know what
I
mean?
think I could have, if I'd have stayed longer, I could have got more songs out
Yeah.
of it. 100%.
So where Led
Fucking
Zeppelin
hell,
rode the
Tom.
motorbike down
Fucking next album,
Oh, yeah.
fucking still
the
time.
hall, innit?
What are
Yeah.
you saying, Chaz?
It's where Led Zeppelin rode the motorbike down there.
You see, I've heard these stories.
All the mad stories in LA. A lot of them happened in that
Is it just
hotel.
like?
Do you know what I would recommend? Because what me and Katie did, we were driving from Vegas back to LA, and this is when I'd been messaging you, and we were
Yeah.
looking for places to stay. So once we decided, okay, we're going to do the Chateau, we got a podcast up, which goes into like it's like the history of famous hotels, and we listened to like an hour episode of all the shit that had gone on there. So obviously it gets you a bit more
Yeah.
into the
Interested.
zone.
It's weird in a
I like
hotel
that.
because some people look at them of either. Some people look at hotels like don't matter. It's just as long as it's got a bed, I can put my head down and that's all I care about. And other people, and I'm probably more on this. Like I really care about the hotel. I love it. I love when it's a hotel like that.
It depends
And I get
what you're
it's
doing, I
fucking
think.
Spenny.
Depends
do
what
you
you're
know
doing.
Yeah, it depends
So
on the
I
holiday,
could,
I
on
agree
that
with
trip, when we went to the Grand Canyon, we knew we were getting up on because a train takes you into the Grand Canyon from this little place called Williams. So we were staying in Williams for a night, but we arrived at like 9 p.m. and we were getting this train at like 8 a.m.
Oh yeah, that's
So we
fucking
just
hell,
got
yeah.
like a fucking
travel lodge.
basic. Yeah, it was just like
Yeah,
it was like
exactly,
literally a room
Yeah.
because we were just getting our
Yeah,
head down. Do you know what I
that's
mean?
com-
So I don't.
That's different.
It
yeah,
depends.
get
I
that.
think it depends what you're doing. This
Sorry,
is
I
what
mean,
I'm saying.
like if you're staying somewhere like you're staying in like LA or something.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean,
exactly.
it's nice to have like. But the other thing is, unfortunately, that comes with fucking money, doesn't it? Like Chateau's not. it's a 5-star, innit? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not fucking. It's not like it's not cheap. Like, we're very lucky that we're even just able to go in and stuff like that.
100%.
It's
Well, got a great song out of it, so worth it.
exactly,
Do you know what I mean?
100%.
Worth every penny.
Absolutely, man.
Should we go into the announcement video? Speak about that. That was, I mean, I think it's your best editing.
Best thing I've ever seen. I've seen it 58 times now, but it's good.
No, I think it's your.
It's like it was like a movie trailer, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's good. I was happy with it. I was excited when I was doing it.
It's fucking. Oh, it's just funny, innit? And then I suppose the other thing is how we got the Garys. The Gary thing, sort of
A collection
getting
of Garys.
famous Garys, was like obvious, wasn't it? Really.
Yeah, and to be fair, I thought that would just be its own thing. And it was when I was looking at the edit, I was like, I'm going to splice the famous Garys in with the announcement. And that's when it kind of came to life.
It speaks for itself.
And
doesn't it?
became, because you can then tell the story by what they're saying.
Yeah.
And it's a bit cryptic. I don't know. Just presented
the
itself.
initial idea was just like an announcement, and then we were going to release that as just the famous Garys as in like an interview. But fucking hell, getting them was really fun. A massive thanks, obviously, to Gary Neville, Gary Lineker, and Gary Newman.
It's good fun. It's like a little task, wasn't it? And you get like Conrad, our manager, ringing us like, right, you've confirmed Lineker. Gary Lineker invited us to his house and cooked us lunch. Like,
One of the best afternoons I've ever had.
great. That, wasn't it?
Yeah. We had a few glasses of wine. We sat down and we
Knocky.
Lineker's knocky.
I bet he was just like, shut the fuck up, because we were just chewing his ear off. Do you know what I mean?
Do you know what? What a lovely guy he is,
lovely person. Do you know what?
Every Gary.
Yeah, Gary Neville invited us to his hotel.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
And
obviously,
he's a busy guy.
he's a
Gary
busy
Neville?
guy. He
Very
sat down with us, and he was
So
absolutely
professional.
He again, lovely guy, proper sound. Gary Newman. He's
we
touring.
went over to Nottingham Rock City. He was on tour, and that was the only day we could do. And we made the trip over.
and he was
Set a little 10-minute chat with him. He was so sound. And he was
proper
genuinely
sound.
into, like, you could see by his reaction. He loved.
Yeah.
He loved what we were
did he-
doing, and he thought it was really creative and
What
stuff.
did he say? He was like, "This is why I'll have another.
That's why I'll never have another number one. I don't have the flair for marketing." That's what he said. But
And what a lovely guy, yeah. And I don't know, it was fun doing that. I love meeting them people. Do you know what I mean? Because it's not really, don't know.
it's like a mad idea, isn't it? It's kind of, it gets you out of your, like you said, we'd probably never cross paths and be invited to Gary Lineker's house for lunch, but
It's an
the
interesting
knock-on
thing
effect
as well,
of
innit?
being like, okay, let's call the album Gary. Okay,
Think
let's go
about
and
how many
interview
people
famous
have-
Garys.
Like famous people have been interviewed about their job, their trade, their life, but never about the name.
Fucking hell, what's the next album going to be called?
We call it Miles, we.
Fucking hell, let's think about that, yeah.
Fucking call it Pep.
Paul.
But yeah, I think that kind of that
Macca.
tied in when it came to coming up with the idea to interview the famous Garys. There was a thing a few years ago about the name Gary going extinct.
Dying out.
Yeah.
And I spoke to my manager Conrad about that in terms of when I was saying I think we should call the album Gary. He then said, "Oh, yeah, because people have been saying for years the name's dying out." So
He's
then
got
that
that
got me reading about that as well.
Statistic that the Garys read out.
Yeah. That was like the start of it. Then the Lineker thing at the end where he says, "I think people call the children."
Yeah,
I've had a lot of Garys message me like,
have you?
Oh, we've
Come out
had
of the woodwork.
loads. Yeah.
Seen a
Class.
funny one where someone's like, "My ex-husband's called Gary. Why the fuck have you done this to me?"
Yeah, I saw that. It's class.
Yeah,
I
good
also-
fun.
I've got a list here of people we should give them a shout out for the videos and all stuff like that. Do you want me to go through it quickly?
Go on then.
Please.
I put massive thanks to Gary, the Garys, the three we just mentioned then. Rick,
Astley.
that's the one. Sean Dyche. Everyone helped out with the videos, including John Sim, Neil Summers, Lucas Rigby, Ewan Ogden, Joseph and Faye, Rick again, and our management, Conrad and Dave,
and Wolfie as well.
and Dan Wolfie.
Need to shout
down
out
there?
my wife, Katie,
Katie Ogden.
because she did our hair
Bohemian.
every
She
day.
And the folks at the
Every
salon.
day.
And
All the staff at the salon.
The salon
Yeah.
staff came in early to do our hair,
Christian,
which was a big help because you
Jodie,
can tell the hair looks good on
Yellow
them.
Hammer
Does
for the
stuff.
coffees.
Yeah,
Lacko.
Lacko.
Keeping us supplied.
Emily for the drawing of Gary.
Emily
Emily for
Drew,
drawing of
Gary's.
Gary.
Gary's
Have
poster.
you seen
Gary.
Gary?
Really, really good.
Do you know what? We should shout out Cactus sign painting as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if you've not seen it, go and check out the mural on Underbank. It's
I know we've
amazing.
not missed it.
Beautiful mural,
I
Greg
went through the
Johnson.
list and
Big
thought
up.
we'll probably go.
Yeah.
we'll
Go and
put
see it
more,
before
but-
it's
I
vandalised.
was like, it's nice to give people
Definitely get
nice to give people an actual name check.
Jordan Autumn was good in the video, wasn't he?
Joe Norton is in the video, yeah, class. Do you know what I mean? Joe
It's good
Light.
fun.
Joe
Joe
Light
Light
touched up.
touched up
Joe
the
Light.
album cover. I got negative YouTube comment of the week.
Go for it.
Whoa! Not out of them for a while.
What platform is it on?
YouTube, I've gone fucking
Oh,
OG.
go on YouTube, yeah.
Got a new single out, haven't we? It's fucking-
Why do
great jingle,
It's
isn't
a
it?
fucking good
It's
jingle.
so
that.
good.
Me on bass.
Is it?
Yeah.
When you release a new song, you get a few bad comments, don't you? Because that is the nature of being in the public eye.
Fuck off. These on Gary.
I'm sure
Only a
people
couple.
do this on purpose now, though.
Yeah, that's true.
I'll give you a few on Gary. I would say as well, 99% of the comments, everyone's loving it.
Oh, yeah, it's got a good reaction, yeah.
No, it's not like everyone's
We use the
saying this.
1% for fuel for the podcast,
Yeah.
so it's fine.
Someone's put Metal Bear UK, but haven't really enjoyed the last few singles, but love this. I thought that was quite funny.
It's nice, backhanded.
This one's funny.
It's nice. Backhanded.
P. Lewis 27 said, "Is anyone surprised these lot robbed something? They're from Stockport, for fuck's sake."
These are, do you know what? These aren't like that
Well,
negative.
no,
They're nice.
the more comes to this.
You're getting worse. Okay.
And he added to his own comment, "Also seems Rick Astley has lost all respect for himself, hanging around with these utter plonkers."
Oh.
That's a bit tight.
Oh, that made me feel sad. That one.
You are a fucking dickhead, mate.
Well, then someone's put fishing for a mention on the Pubcast, Paul, and someone else put negative YouTube comment of the week, and he's put, "What's that?" Now you fucking know, mate.
Welcome.
I think there's one more that I wanted to say. Sorry.
Sorry, sir.
Thank you.
JC9922.
Jazz chorus.
He
Took the words
put,
out of my
Niche,
mouth.
sorry.
this guy put, "Shite. Enjoyed the ad before 100 times more."
You know.
That's a good one, that.
Well, that one's good. That feels
Must have been
classic.
the ad for the album.
Enjoy the
Do you know what?
new single, guys.
I don't mind people slating us, but don't get Rick involved.
Yeah,
Do you know
no,
what I mean?
yeah,
Like,
Rick out of this
leave
one.
Rick
Fuck
out.
that.
No, he's
He's a
not
national
really.
hero.
He's,
Yeah,
he's,
the
saying,
treasure.
he's saying Rick's dropped his standards hanging around with us, which I suppose
To dig at us.
to a degree.
I've got do you want It's Not Hard, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking
sure.
hell, go on then. Do you know what? I'm
You're
going
going to
to
have to tell it, actually.
I'm going to add one first and just say Gary Lineker's Knocky was It's Not Hard, is it?
Oh, yeah.
You got it?
Go on.
What?
Linux is Knocky.
I just said it.
All right, it's fine.
Explain it properly, though. You kind of already did, but say it again.
I've got a quick
Just
one.
that, just Gary Lineker inviting us to his house. We got there and he was like,
He was picking basil.
well,
When we got
he was
there.
actually crushing mozzarella.
Mozzarella. He said, "I've got mozzarella all over
on
my
our
hands."
So we went in and then, yeah, just, he was like, anyone want a glass of wine? I had a glass of wine, good food. And he was like, oh, set up anywhere. There was no, it was
It's not hard,
it was
is it?
uber chilled.
Not
it was
hard,
not
is
hard,
it?
is it? It was just
Not hard.
uber chilled, uber nice.
Didn't have to do that, did he?
No, not at all. And
What's
he did,
yours?
and really
Quick
appreciate
one,
it.
and I haven't even spoken to him about it yet. I'm getting my bathroom done up, aren't I, recently?
Oh, yeah.
WD bathrooms, fucking excellent.
No, they've done my
Done
two.
yours, right?
Fucking
And
unreal.
I'm not
yeah.
even. I noticed this as he left yesterday. Doing the bathroom up, obviously the bathroom, part of the job, all good. My banister, I damaged about a year ago. I'd fixed. It was like hanging off at the top. Got upstairs yesterday, fucking screwed it in and plastered it in.
Not
Wow.
hard,
Not
is it?
hard, is it?
Really?
I didn't even mention it.
That is
How
not
good
hard,
is
is it?
that?
That's
That's
fucking
I love
great.
stuff like
brilliant,
that, you know.
one. I need to thank him.
Oh.
Do you know what that is? Leaving biscuits and brews.
There'll be,
Do you know what I mean?
there'll be an extra fucking 200 quid on the bill.
No, in all
Good that,
seriousness,
innit?
in
It's
all
not hard,
seriousness,
is it?
they
That's a
did
good one, that.
they did my bathrooms, and honestly, they, as like workmen go, they are unreal. So clean, so tight. Because it's rare you get somebody who's like dead clean and just like
Yeah.
they get in, they do the job, they don't fuck about. And
Yeah.
honestly, unreal.
Brilliant.
I couldn't recommend them
Yeah.
enough.
So,
I'll get that check now. If I said that.
go on, Chaz.
I don't know whether this qualifies for the segment, but when we was at the airport the other day, I'd not checked in.
Oh, it
Yeah,
fucking
this
does.
is- yeah.
Fuck, it's so you.
This is so you.
I'll
I'm not
fucking tell
telling
it.
it,
Yeah,
you tell
I'll
it.
fucking tell you, jammy fuck. So obviously we're flying to the Isle of Man, so like get in there, get to the airport, and obviously you can imagine the airport's a bit busy. Do you know what I mean? We get there, and obviously like
We've all checked in before.
yeah, we've all checked in prior
On our phone.
We don't have
literally
to drop the bags.
a minute away.
We can just walk through.
A minute away from the airport. Charlie goes, "I've not checked in." I'm sort of ashen, a bit panicked, like, and then I'm like, it's
Security is not the quietest, is
fucking-
it?
exactly. I was like, it's Charlie, because I was like, should we buy?
Flight's in like an hour, innit?
Yeah, I was
About
like,
an
should we
hour.
buy like quick fucking security so we can just dive
I'm
through?
panicking like fuck as well, aren't I, at this time?
I bet you, there must have been
Seen it
something
now.
inside you a bit like, oh fuck.
Not one
Anyway,
bit.
get there.
Not an ounce.
No.
Get there. We go straight to security because we've already checked in, got the board and passed our phone. Obviously, Chaz goes to the desk. We're like, we'll meet you through there, see what happens.
And what did you say? You called it.
I said, I went, I fucking bet you. And when we were in the queue, I was like, I bet you we fucking go through there. And Charlie's fucking stood there waiting. I was like, I don't know how the fuck he would have done it, but he'll be fucking stood there.
Then he calls me. I'm sort of you and I are sort of at the
Well, you have to take your like fucking belt
First
off
of all,
and
you
shit.
took the piss out of me because I got fucking like into a little side queue, didn't I? And you're like, you lucky bastard.
You know when you're like waiting in the queue and they open another new bit and they go,
that's
come
very
through
you,
here.
that.
And Joe was just straight in. I was just stood there like that. Right, I'm going to be here for another 15 minutes.
But then I get a call from Chaz, and he goes, "Where are you, mate?" And I'm looking down the queue, like thinking, "Oh, I'm going to see him sort of waving at me." And I go, "Oh, I'm just about to put my stuff on in the tray now." And Chaz went, "Duh," like that. And I was like, "You fucking gone through?"
Yeah.
He's like, "See you outside WH Smith's."
Honestly,
Go on, I'll tell it from your end. How did you get through?
He sneaked in
Do you know when you go through
speedy-
T1? The security's dead ahead if you've checked in it. Obviously, the desks for EasyJet are on the left, that right down the hall.
Yeah.
You went, Chaz, check-in's down there, see you through. So waltzes down, not a soul there, queuing up, straight to the desk.
Soul patch.
Give him the
Boarding pass, handed to me straight away. And then as I was coming out, there's this door.
I know which one you mean. It's the Jet 2 one.
Yeah, it is.
I've never seen it before. I've never been down there. Well, I've been down there, but I've never accessed it from there. And there's a bloke with like a little tape, you know, like the little barriers. He went, "Have you got a speedy boarding pass?" I said, yeah. He went, come through here. Little staircase down. Jet 2 security room.
Yeah.
Not a dog in there.
Straight through.
Straight through. Didn't even check my bags for anything. Upstairs. Yeah, then rang Josh.
Check the bags for it.
Are you sure?
No. I mean, like,
You didn't get pulled.
mine usually
Right.
goes to the other
I know what
side,
you
doesn't
mean.
it? Do you know what I mean?
You're pure like a rogue bottle of aftershave just that
I've
you
left
forgot
some,
about.
yeah.
I don't care, dude. That's why my heart rate's 43. Do you know what I mean?
I thought it was 143 though yesterday, wasn't
I
it?
was in Chicago. Okay, no. Anyway, but yeah, that's it's not hard, is it?
When I'm back in Chicago.
We'll have to talk about that story one day. It's a funny story that.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll talk about it
But
one
yeah.
day. It's funny.
What happened in Chicago?
The gummy. Should we talk about it now? It's funny.
Oh,
Do
Chicago.
you know? Okay, set first. Yeah, that's definitely. It's not. It's more of you. You're so lucky like that.
But good trip, good weekend.
Great trip.
Enjoyed it. Really good to play live again. Really enjoyed
It
it.
was.
Good
What
gig.
else is on your
Good gig.
list?
How did everyone feel on stage? By the way,
I enjoyed it.
Well, I loved
Good,
it.
good. A little few things, technical things that were just throwing me a bit, but that's natural, innit?
Yeah, everything was fucking sound.
Felt
Come
great to play
see
the new
us.
tunes,
Yeah, it did.
especially What Can I Say? I really enjoyed that.
Well fun, wasn't it? I loved opening with that.
Yeah.
Should we go into This Is a Fan bit then?
Sure.
This is the fan bit. This is the fan bit.
Do you want me to kick it off?
Makes me laugh how that doesn't fade.
Do you want me to
Yeah, fucking go
kick
for it,
things
man.
off? This is from Johnny Murray. Evening, chaps. Must have been the evening when he sent it. Hope is all well. Hope all is well down at Blossoms HQ. And because I can't speak, you can tell it is going well. Can you explain the soundcheck process? When you were talking about on a previous pod about records being mastered and how each song has different instruments / tracks all have different levels, decibelage, etc. How does this work with live shows? Called the number several times to hear the snippets of the new album, and I cannot wait for it. It's good that you managed to get through. Congrats on Gary. Much love. So, Miles, I feel like you can give quite a in-depth rundown on how we take the stems into the live show.
I didn't listen to that question then. What do you want me to talk about?
Go-
You've got,
He said
he's got a
at
fucking
first-
piece of paper in
At
front of
first
you.
he said,
The
can you
sound check
explain
process.
the sound check process?
Soundcheck is just getting your shit, plugging it in, testing it.
It's not us though, is it? We
I didn't say it was, I just said getting it. Someone does that. Do you know what I mean? Diva.
no, it's more sound check is so you can sort your levels in your in-ear monitors, so you can hear what you're playing or what you want to hear. For example, like I'll have fucking loads of click. Do you know what I mean? And
We
also
all
I've
have a
watched the
tailored
click.
mix.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Just
a
let's
click, is a,
expl-
a
right.
click is a metronome to keep
These
us all in
days,
the time.
how we do a show is we jam the songs in here, we learn them at home or in here, and then we get the stems because now everything's
Stems are every track from the
yeah,
song.
it's,
so
it's kind of
drums,
like
layers,
drums on one,
fucking
synth 1, synth 2, synth 3, guitar one. You got everything's layered and multi-tracked, so you can take out as much as you want, or put as much you want on.
So things that you're going to play live, for example, lead vocal, obviously I'm going to do live. Lead guitar, Josh is going to do live.
A lot of people don't do this, but where the positives are is that you can have stuff playing to back you up that you might not be able to do. Now, nowadays, we've got so many people on stage, you don't need that much on the track.
A lot of things as well.
There's a lot less on the track now, and because of the nature of the show, all the lights are tailored to it, so it can be seamless. We can be together and do stops and starts together at the same time, so it's good. But with that, you basically just put it into a Ableton Pro Tools, do you know what I mean, all those DAWs, and then you can just take out what you want or keep in what you want. So with that, Joe, you need the click quite loud because the drums needs to be in with the click, so everything is in together, and then we're all in with you basically, so you have the click loud, and that is kind of it.
Yeah, just little things like that. I'll have the click loud, and I'll.
So it sounds. I'm sure we have talked about this before, but we have a monitor engineer, Lucinda, who stands at the side of the stage with a desk, who has each individual person's mix on a different channel. So she'll click on Miles, and when we do a sound check, she's like, "Miles, are you happy?" And Miles goes, "No, can I have a bit more keyboards and less of Josh's guitar?" Lucinda goes, moves the knobs.
Check that again.
And then goes, "Miles, are you happy with that?"
Yeah.
And Miles goes, "Yes." Then you move on. "Josh, are you happy with yours?" And then so on and so forth around everyone until the whole band is happy.
And it's actually safer using in-ear monitors because back in the day...
That's worth mentioning. Yeah. Some bands... Well, everyone's different.
Not everyone. Some people even have monitors on stage and you blast your ears.
So physical speakers in front of you.
Because sometimes you forget,
which then blast the song back at you.
What the crowd is hearing, the speakers are in front of you, so you can't hear what the fuck's going out front, other than it bouncing off the other end of the wall. So
it's muffled.
I will mention as well, which is interesting. There's 2 ambient mics pointed at the crowd,
so we can hear the crowd in our
So
ears.
if you want more crowd, you can ask the monitor engineer, Lucinda. You want the crowd up or down,
and this is why you do a sound check at every venue and every gig, because every gig is different. So and what they do is to save time. They save. So say we played the Isle of Man, Lucinda can save what we did at the Isle of Man. Then we'll go into the next show, which is the Isle of Wight. But obviously, it's an outdoor show on a festival stage. So once they load that file up, it's going to be completely different. It's not. It'll be close, but it won't be the same. That's why you do a sound check.
The settings are the same for us, but what you're giving to those settings, like the gains, how loud it's coming into, that is going to be different.
And it's worth mentioning
down, and it's
at festivals. You don't always get a sound check at festivals. So at the Isle of Wight, we won't get a festival sound check.
Only if you headline, you get a sound check.
So often when you see bands playing at festivals, you'll see them turning to the monitor engineer, asking them to change shit on the fly because they've had no sound check. They just got in, and it might sound a bit crazy.
That's why I reckon you can think of a better way of doing this, Joe. You're good at
sound checking.
Sound checking every band at a festival.
Could easily work, couldn't it?
But that's why
stage.
If you watch stuff, most festivals that are headlining, you'll see a lot of turning to the side, and that's what that is.
Plus, we have shout mics, so those who, like me and Miles, don't sing, so we don't have a microphone to communicate. But we have a shout mic.
Left me out there.
Sorry. It was just a given that you would have a
Yours
mic.
is on your fucking snare drum, that's why. Fucking hell.
Oh, just another interesting fact, because we use in-ear monitors, you lose that ambience on stage.
Yeah.
And Joe uses it's called a Porter and Davis butt kicker.
Oh, yeah.
It's tactile monitoring, because he's losing that feel because he's basically got plastic in his ears. When he hits the kick, it fires air up his arse.
Sub on his arse.
It does, yeah.
And you used to stand on a plate, didn't you?
I had a custom-made bass plate.
By the same company?
By the same
Still got
company.
that?
Still got it. We'll be using that for
on the
shows
tour
moving forward. But it just fires
We have discussed these pros and cons, I think, of both. Like, me and you sometimes toy... we long for monitors sometimes, don't we? In terms of the feel of being in the room, like I do love that.
I'm just a purist in every way, I think. Which one of them? But I do get, obviously, you got to move with the times and stuff.
But when you go, like, for example, I go up with the Magic Gang, big shout out to them, they did the farewell shows, and they were on physical monitors.
Full wedges.
And the sound is like, it's so loud and you can't hear,
you can't pitch your singing.
No, you're fighting against the, and I thought...
Bad for your ears, bad for your throat.
Yeah, and you end up shagging your voice more because... fuck it. Because you're kind of shouting over it to to get what you want out of your voice. I don't know, but you then, you go to the front of the stage and you can feel and hear the crowd a lot more. So there is something good, but you sacrifice something at the same time.
I really want you to get them. I might just get you them ambient ears.
Oh, the ambient filters.
I'll try them.
I think
they're made for singers.
I need a new set of ears,
I do like my Cosmics. Mine, like the sound or the vocal in them. I
but I think
I find it really difficult in a minute.
I think you should try them thingy ones.
I'll try them
because they're made with a silicone, aren't they? So when you sing in your canals, they move with your ear canal. And also they've got the ambience so you can hear like your direct, like, do you know what I mean? Like your closer. So it might be interesting to see what you sound like.
But that's basically it.
It's kind of, I mean, I don't know, that was it, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Joey, we did actually, we talked about that from just the main reason as well is for Chris, our sound guy.
Front of the house, yeah.
It's for him to monitor the levels of everything in that venue. We've just talked about it from our perspective completely there.
But you have someone sat at the front with a desk, so we play through the songs, and Chris Pierce, big shout out, he'll then mix the songs. So we might, depending how long your sound check is, you might do like 5 songs to be.
Well, they might
get it, and you go, Chris, are you happy? And he goes, yeah.
Like at the end of the tour, especially, like, it probably takes a week, doesn't it, or maybe a few days. And pretty much every day for us, it's like you get on stage and your ears are bang. Even like Lucinda, she knows what your mix sounds like, so she can get it bang on. And it's like, and then you go through like I say the end of touring, you might even not do a sound check.
Yeah.
And then you can do something called a virtual sound check, which is say your ears are always fine.
Always
pre-recorded.
Yeah, that's a pre-recorded gig of ours, and you might hear it, and it comes out front. So like I've heard people before, like at festivals early morning, say if we're headlining, like when we headline Why Not or something, I had a few people message me who got mates of mine who were going and staying there. Like, oh, you here, mate? I can hear you sound checking. Yeah. And it's like, no, I'm not there, mate. It's like it's a virtual sound check. Do you know what I mean? And that's so Chris can get her levels ready for the gig. It's interesting, but yeah, that sound check, it's all very technical. And I bet half the people are fucking tuned out on the podcast after that, aren't they?
Slater.
So then,
right, I'll do the next one from Joe Hughes. Hi lads, listening to your most recent podcast, and you talked a bit how the music can be. And you talked a bit about how music can be a bit just your job rather than a hobby now. Got me thinking, do you all have time set aside most days to practice or write music individually, or is most of your practice just together in a band now? How often do you practice together, and how much time goes into practicing for a tour? Also got me thinking about how you all got into it, how you all got good at your instruments. As someone who's been playing guitar for 5-6 years but never had a lesson, I'm interested whether you were all self-taught or what musical training you've all had. What helped you progress to where you're at now? Sorry, a lot of questions. I love the podcast. I've been listening to every single one. And I've been to 4 to 5 gigs, and they're always boss. Right, let's see if we can make through everything.
Questions, that one.
Let's go for the first
blanket.
Is everyone scanning trying to find the first bit?
Got me thinking, do you all have time set aside most days to practice or write music individually? Or do you just practice together when you're in a band now? I think everyone's going to have a different answer for this.
Yeah, that depends for me. If we've got a new album that we have now, I've got an electric kit at home and I practice the songs.
Still in the box, innit?
Hey?
Still in the box, innit?
No, it's in the garage.
Joking.
Good one. And then I'll practice the songs, do you know what I mean? So then when we come in here, it's not like, oh fucking hell, Joe's not learnt the song, do you know what I mean? I'd say drums is probably the hardest, isn't it?
Yeah.
In terms like
if you don't know it,
but not just that, because it's annoying, innit?
Space, noise.
It's a big instrument, innit? Yeah. It's not like, you could probably just go, all of you can just get something like mine, you can just get a keyboard, plug it, headphones in, acoustic bass or whatever, even just a bass there and just like put it at the corner of the room. It looks cool and look like drums. It's quite hard on, but I sort of have that in the garage, and
it's probably worth mentioning as well. Like you love playing in a band, don't you? With us,
yeah.
Where you wouldn't go home and play the drums, would you? Do you know what I mean? It's not really. You wouldn't sit and practice or learn other people's songs like that. Isn't your thing? Do you know what I mean?
I do it a bit though. I got on the kit every night, especially because
I thought it was more when you, like you just said then, when you've got to learn the songs for the tour. I
do it more than you'd think. Do you know what I mean? Like if I'm going like on the things in the garage, I take the shoes off and that, and then I'll sit on the drums for a bit and just like have a mess around. But it's more of a.
You've said that yourself. I won't say what you like. You've said you like playing in a band.
No,
do you know what I mean?
I know that's. I do like I'm saying I might. That's more like if this band stopped, I wouldn't yearn to get in another band. Like I'm 31 now, and I'm like, do you know what I mean? I wouldn't like. I think the thing I love most is being in this band.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Totally.
But like I say, who knows? Fucking hell.
I'm weird, mate. Sometimes I leave it.
I'm really sorry to butt in, but and the other thing with it is because I've got like ADHD, I'm really scared of getting bored of it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I fucking love playing drums, but I know what I'm like.
Yeah.
Like I love something intensely, and then all of a sudden I hate, and when I hate it, I fucking hate it, and it's like really hard for me to get back
You
into
don't want
it.
it to get to that
And
point.
I'm really scared of like, it's always been like a weird fear of mine to be like, and I don't think it'll ever happen, but do you know what I mean? It's like an intrusive thought that I'll get bored of it, or one day I'll sit there and go, I fucking hate this.
Yeah.
And I'd fucking hate that. Because everyone's been there, you know, like when you start a new job and you're really excited about it, and then one day you're sort of like, I fucking hate this now. And
Yeah.
obviously it's not happened, and we've been a band for 10 years, but I always have that in my head where I'm like, I'd hate to get to a point where I sit behind a drum kit and it's like,
A chore.
yeah, I'd fucking hate that.
Yeah.
What are you going to say?
I split into two categories, mate. I feel like playing in this band is different to playing keyboard / piano because there's so much technical shit to it where my practicing in the band, everything's laid out and the keys and laid and split into different categories per song that you're almost like, you're just practicing shapes.
Yeah.
In a way. And then you got some jammy bits in between.
Mm-hmm.
But then when you're playing like a fucking piano or you're playing like a synth at home or something and mess about or do like a little few bits of recording,
Yeah.
it's different. I don't know. But I find myself doing that more than rehearsing our songs.
Yeah.
So that's kind of... Sometimes I leave it like a couple of weeks I've not played. Especially like January. Usually January I have a bit of time off. I'm either like a week or two not played anything, or like I'm on the piano for like an hour, 2 hours just fucking about, got my voice notes up. So it's quite up
I
and
feel
down.
like when you do have a break, you yearn for it though,
Yeah.
don't you then? Do you know
Yeah,
what I mean?
there's
Like,
a
As a
little bit
band,
like
you do, yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
But like most of my I learn quite a lot of my piano stuff and keyboard stuff when I was like a bit younger. I find it more difficult now to learn. Now it's more like we're doing it all the time. I ain't got that thing where I'm like, oh, let's learn a song, even though I should do. But personally, for me, I'm like, because I've already played. I've been playing.
Yeah.
Or I've played. I've come home and it's like,
because you
but
mentioned it.
that's why I kind of split up because it is different.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean?
You mentioned then about the drums. I think drums is different learning a song than like guitar or something. That's like different, interesting chords. Where drums, it's like it'll be a beat that you've played before. There's only sort of so. Do you know what I mean? Like it's very rare. Like think about a tune. Like I can't remember the last time I heard a song and went, oh, I've never heard that drum beat before. Do you know what I mean? Like it'll be in a song somewhere. Do you know what I mean?
Do you know what I buzzed off fucking doing guitar for the Smith stuff? I fucking loved that.
Yeah,
That was like a new challenge.
It was like
Yeah.
it was like, right, you've got three. Like, let's say the last Glastonbury one we did.
Kind of training a different part of
I
your
was
brain,
like,
aren't you?
in my head, I was like, I've got 3 months to be shit out at guitar. It didn't fucking work out, did it? But
No, you did really well.
And
You did-
I was
you
like,
did do well.
it was sound. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
You're quite
I
like
liked
that though.
Yeah, no.
If you put your mind to,
set-
if you give you a task to do
I'll
it,
just
you'll
smash
do
it.
it.
I'll
Do you know
just
what I mean?
smash it. Yeah. Do
Quite
you know what I mean?
Good mental
I
strength.
don't know what it is. So yeah, that's me, Josh. You?
Yeah, I don't know. I think like again, I think it's for all of us. It's split, isn't it? Because obviously we all love music in our own different ways. But I think going into, because I'm always just noodling around, whether it's on my own here or at home. More so at home these days. But if we're going into writing an album or recording an album or whatever, it's like I'll apply the new skills that I've learned in that time to the album that we're recording and writing. So, you know, say we went to Anglesey, for example, you know, stuff that just comes out naturally has been influenced by whatever I'm listening to or learning at the time individually. And then that gets applied to what we do. And then we just play it over and over and over again to play it live. So it's a weird split. But I always like to just learn new things on any instrument just to feed the brain.
You've sort of grown up, like your back room when you were a kid was
The music room, yeah.
I had like a drum kit always set up,
Drum kit, piano, yeah, and
amps,
then a guitar.
guitars. Do you know what I mean? Like it was always. So I suppose you've grown up just like constantly being able. Like whereas do you know what I mean? I didn't have.
Yeah.
Like the loft where my drum kit was, but you'd go on the drums for like 10 minutes, then like next door be like, oh, do you mind?
Yeah.
Also
That's what I mean.
having my dad as the reference point to figuring things out.
Yeah.
You can't buy that, man.
No.
Yeah,
Amazing.
you've had a music teacher like
Exactly. Yeah.
just
but then
at your
that's-
disposal constantly.
Unreal.
That's made it a lot easier for me to learn songs by ear.
Yeah, I'd say you're probably
in
the
detail.
you're probably the most technical, like
Musically.
technical musically. Does that make sense?
I don't know about that. to be honest.
Multi-instrumental as well.
What do you
I'd
mean
say.
on like a music theory level?
Yeah. That's
I
what I'm
wouldn't
saying.
even
Yeah.
say my theory isn't great. It's just
No, but
I think my ears,
out of all of us,
my
though,
ears gotten good.
yeah. But I mean, out of all of us, you're probably just by like, because none of us have done a lesson in our respective instruments. Like you've done
No.
drum lessons.
Yeah,
which is
well,
mad.
yeah.
But like,
You know what's mad? That was I was doing drum lessons 20 years ago.
yeah, fuck.
Which is insane.
So that was close to your 80th then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Mate, the amount of shit in the Discord, I'm just seeing that on the thing getting onto. The amount of shit people on the Discord are giving me about my. And I made the mistake of putting a picture of me with a filter on. It's become a sticker now on Discord.
It's your own fault, man.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah. So anyway, that's
Chaz?
my take on it.
Ever since I was a kid, I probably play something in the house every day. Just
Your dad did that as well, didn't you?
just naturally, yeah. Like I'll pick up because I've got an acoustic bass. It's just lying around. I'll pick that up every day, even if I'm watching telly or if I just finished my breakfast or whatever. I'll just pick that up.
Hadda.
Pots up here.
And the piano in the dining room, I'll just tinkle on that.
Oh, tune.
George's dad just tuned it actually.
Oh, boss.
But yeah, I've always been like that, and that's the way I learned, but just by ear. Obviously, my dad was a bass player, but if there's a song that comes on, like for example, the other day, Sabrina Carpenter, Espresso, I just start playing the bass along to it,
Yeah.
and then I'll end up writing something else that sounds like that, and I'll save it to my voice notes. I've always done stuff like that, and then
I feel like you've always got a bass line ready.
yeah,
If we're rehearsing or we're like jamming out something, there's always like
I'd say that's the fastest match.
100%
to the songs.
yeah.
You can tell, like you said, then like you'll always take him to try and play along and stuff like that. And then
But I've never forced myself to play something like, oh, I must do this now, because I think when it comes to that, what's the
the
point?
same sort of reason I'm saying about getting
Exactly. It's always just
TPO.
I had some piano lessons when I was younger at school.
Yeah.
But not like to a good level.
To get out
really.
of science.
Got to like learn the entertainer. I don't even know what level it was. It probably wasn't even a level. Probably like the first one.
Haley Quinn.
And then I took
yeah.
music. I picked it as a GCSE music, but I was playing piano at the time. But obviously, again, just entertainer and James Bond level. But I was already writing. No, was I writing songs then?
Yeah,
I was writing. I'd write on the keyboard. So I started off writing songs on the keyboard, and then I learned Wonderwall in music, and that obviously just unlocks
On the geek.
Then I got a guitar at home, and then just taught myself to play it. I had a little chord book like that.
The charts.
Yeah, and it just had the charts in it. So and then I'd go on the internet and go on Ultimate Guitar. And I had like Oasis songbooks and Beatles songbooks, and I just learned their songs and learned what the
songbooks,
chord
man.
progressions were.
Ace.
I remember
miss
you
having
showing
them.
me like, oh, I've learnt this new one, like Smith's Big Mouth or something. Do you know what I mean? Like at the end of my road with the Akira.
Yeah.
Then you learn new chords, don't you, which you apply
Yeah.
to your own stuff.
Exactly, yeah. It's just everything comes from somewhere else. So the way
Bass.
I learned to write songs was listening to other people's music and then trying to write songs like theirs. But there's something within you that wanted to do that. I think I had that natural thing to want to write songs from
Yeah.
being
Yeah.
young.
Mm.
Like I've told the story before, and I wrote
The
my
World Cup
first song I ever wrote was a World Cup song in class,
And you love
and that was just because I learned these chords on the piano and just
Good
applied
teaching
it to that. Yeah,
There it is.
good teaching that.
well, they chose my song.
Yeah, but I mean, it's good teaching
It was
that.
good.
Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it was like
Inspires you, doesn't it? Like,
Yeah, it makes you,
something like
because
that.
when you get, it's that like
Shout out to
positive
Miss
reinforcement. Miss Coulson, yeah.
Yeah.
still a
Because you
teacher
like
now,
think,
isn't it?
oh, you get someone says, oh, you're good at that. Oh, that was good. Gives you confidence, doesn't it? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If she'd say he didn't do that, I might have just been like, oh,
mad that.
move
innit?
on to something
Nah,
else. Do you know what I mean?
It's just better to giving, like, especially with kids, it's better to give encouragement rather than fucking blast them for something that they've done wrong.
100%. But I'm like probably more like Chaz in terms of maybe less so recent when we've got shitloads on. But on the whole, if you're just going on the average living day to day,
Yeah.
I'll wake up and play the piano.
It's
play the
good
guitar.
procrastination, I think. Like,
Yeah.
if you should be doing something else, I'm always tinkling on
really?
something. Yeah. Not very well on the piano.
Hoover out, plugged in, not on.
Yeah. Hoover on.
Hey.
playing the piano.
I usually I'll have, but obviously writing songs is different,
I was
isn't it? So
gonna
it's
say,
kind of like I kind of know, mine doesn't feel like procrastination because it's kind of like I always know there's a purpose at the end. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if I'm like cleaning's coming second to fucking writing tunes, do you know what I mean? So it's like I never ever feel like that. If the
I was going to say, has that
purpose.
changed in recent years?
In what way?
In terms of you're not noodling for fun, where you used to say pre-Charlemagne, pre-first album, you'd probably get home. Do you know what I mean, when you from college and go, oh, I'll just write a tune. This is fun.
No,
Whereas
you've
now,
got to get yourself. No, it's still the same, luckily, but it's not as quick. I would say you kind of got to.
That's probably because you've honed your skill more, though. Surely.
No, I think there's more pressure now. So say if I go, I know I've got to write songs because we're in a band and we need songs. Yeah. So it's like sit down and go, I'm gonna have to write songs here. Then you'll feel the pressure. And it's probably not that natural.
It's not healthy either, is it?
But if you write, you got to write through it to get to that subconscious bit where it doesn't feel like that's what you're doing.
Yeah.
So if I sit there in the morning and go, right, I know I've got to write songs, I might do it, write some shit, go and make a cup of tea, then I'm like already out of that. Like, maybe I thought, I've tried to write.
You're not thinking about thinking.
Yeah, I thought I've tried to write this thing for the band. I've got it. It's I'll send it to him in a bit if I own it in, and then I'll go, okay, let me put my hands somewhere else.
Yeah,
that's how Mothers happened. So then I just did them two chords, and within like 10 minutes you get a burst of inspiration. You've got the whole thing, and then you're like fired up then, and that's the best bit about it. Yeah. So it all comes from like a kind of when you're not expecting it, if you know what I mean. But you've got to chase it still. It's like a fine line.
It's weird. We probably all do that individually, and then pretty much come in here and do it all together.
Yeah.
So good question, Joe. That's a basic overview of how we do stuff like that. Moving on now, I think should we pick 3 of those Discord questions and then
go on. Go from DM. Like, just do that one.
Just do it rapid.
Hi guys, loving the Pubcast. Looking forward to the Withenshaw gig and a long time fan. I've recently got engaged via asking my wife to be in an escape room. Heard a few months back on the pod Miles doing the first dance introduction. I was just wondering if the band would be up for announcing the buffet being open by saying, ladies and gentlemen, all friends of Damien and Vicky, the buffet is now open. It would make the day very special.
There's a sound clip.
Hey, just cut you doing that.
I'm not going to be doing it. Someone else should do it.
You've just done it.
You should do it, Josh.
The first dance is like to be Charlemagne.
You need to sound more
too.
enthusiastic.
That's just a reference point. That.
Yeah, so the first dance is Charlemagne as well. So, Josh, do you want to do it? Do you want to do the...
Okay, so
weirdly, I've made the bit in bold wrong. Sorry, that's stupid.
You can go from ladies and gentlemen, Josh.
Okay, you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Ladies and gentlemen, and all friends of Damien and Vicky, the buffet is now open. Thank you.
Hey!
Yeah, that was good. That.
Oh, there you go.
Buzzing them to email again saying that is unusable.
We want our friends to be happy, not depressed.
Right, we launched Discord questions.
We're there yet. We launched a Discord. Questions are on there. If you want little quickfire questions, that's probably the best place to sign up to Discord and join our Discord. Thank you. Go on, Miles.
So how is the pre-gig playlist determined? Usually,
that's from Matt.
From Matt, usually just tunes that we like, that we buzz off and we think everyone else will buzz off.
Hype us up for the tune.
It's like hype tunes, isn't it? Massive tunes that are like get crowds going.
It's worth noting we have a 30-minute one just before we go on, and we have like a longer one like before the support acts are on. So the longer one we can put more not unusual but deeper cuts of our music tastes in there, whereas the 30 minutes before we go on you kind of want to really hype the crowd up. So it's still from our taste of music, but it's very tailored to what's going to get a crowd going. Next question.
This one's from Aaron. Do you notice anyone from the crowd? Yes. Weirdly,
yes,
you do. I remember I used to go to gigs when I was younger and I'd be like, I'm sure they looked at me, but no, they wouldn't have. Do you know when you think you made eye contact with Liam Gallagher or do you know what I mean, something like that? And I always just think, no, I won't have. But now I think, yeah, they did. Do you know what I mean? Like they looked at me in the eyes and saw me. And it's weird. But yeah, you notice people all the time. And like, so like, if people yawn at the front row, you've fucking seen it.
Yeah, notice people who look bored.
And last one now from Chris. How did you all feel after the announcement on Monday?
We're all quite buzzed up, weren't we?
Yeah.
It was.
It's exciting announcing stuff like
Yeah,
that.
it
And
was
then when
fucking mint.
stuff you've made and you're proud of it, and you think, fucking hell, and you've been sat on it for so long, it is kind of you're nervous and excited, I would say.
I'm glad it's in the world.
Because we called it Gary as well. We were like, oh, we love it, it's fun. And then just before you answer, we're like, is it a fucking stupid name for an album?
Like, is
What
this-
the hell are you
have we
playing
lost
at?
our heads?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but yeah. So yeah, thanks very much. Join the Discord because that's a really
Join
good
the
place for me to
Discord,
thingy. Where should the email in, Miles? Because they're good questions.
Do you
as well.
like me? I don't know what I was going to say.
Right.
Do you like me and the band? Go to Discord, yeah. But there we go.
Hey, that's good.
Do you
And then
like
where
me?
do they email in if they've got questions and they can't join Discord? Sing over. That's blossomspubcast@gmail.com.
That's pub, P-U-B, not pod.
Yes.
Hello
Thank you.
at blossoms.com.
Thanks everyone, guys. See you later. Josh is going to do some muttering now.
Blossoms Podcast. It's a Blossoms Podcast. It's a Blossoms Podcast.
Live from the Blossoms Pub.